Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Fellow beings, ho ho! It is time for late night culture. That's right, a little late night culture for you and for you and for you and for you and for you. And it's going to be fun, I assure you. Why? Well, because I've got two great panelists to start and more that'll roll in the door as we move along. Yes, surprise, we are early. Yes, surprise, everybody's still over there probably hanging out with Valiant Renegade. But they'll probably join us, I don't know, maybe. But I want to say thanks for being here. We've got a whole lot of stuff going on right now. And yes, Hobo Casino indeed. But we did have some great things happen before the show started. And before I introduce my wonderful panel, my guests, my buddies, my pals, I want to say thanks to the folks that sent some amazing things, like Scott Westbrook dropped 5 CultureCasino memberships before we even got started. Thank you so very much, Scott. And I appreciate it. Really, I do. We were slipping. We were falling down, around 500 members. I don't know what was going on. We were up over 700. Now we're down to 500. I mean, Mr. H could catch me. That'd be terrible. Yeah, that'd be terrible. But thank you. I'm not kidding. I seriously, I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. We got Walter Tomaziski here for $1.99. He's been around for a bit. Says, Cece, did New Line croak after releasing Lord of the Rings? Well, they got absorbed is what happened, and then, yeah, they kind of died. Good conversation for Tom if he shows up tonight, although I don't know that he will. He's got stuff going on, but if he does, he'll be invited in the door, and he can talk about that. Thank you for that, though. I truly appreciate the super chat for $1.99. And, of course, Jaffo, who has been here for 39 months. That is also a very long time. Says, let's go, 25K chest waxing stream. Yeah, no. That is not happening. I will not be doing this, Jaffo. No. And more no. But Let's say yes. Let's say yes to some amazing people that have joined us today, my panelists that are huffing and puffing behind the scenes as we speak. We've got from Bounding into Comics, the Amazing Society Reviews. How are you doing this evening, Jacob?
Oh my gosh, just babbling for like 7.5 minutes. Just introduce me already. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I introduced you. How are things going?
Things are going all right. Things are going pretty good, pretty smoothly so far. How's things going with you?
Good, good, good. I'm happy. I love this. We got to go early tonight. I have extra energy. I know that I'm going to get good night's sleep. I only have 4 videos to record when we're done with today's show. So there you go. Excited.
Yeah, while we're introducing our other guests, I think I can sit here and count how many movies I've seen so far this year. I could tell you, spoiler, it's probably too much for one
Hey,
man.
I'm looking forward to talking about some of those movies that you've seen tonight because that'll be part of what we're talking about. Because one of those movies is probably the Ghostbuster film, which I really want to put a cap on tonight, outside of the box office numbers, which we got a video for tomorrow. But I know you've seen some stuff. You got to see a film I
Oh, I've
think I want
certainly
to
seen
see.
some stuff.
Yeah, but you saw a film I think I want to see with Sydney Sweeney, so I can't wait till we get into that. No spoilers. No spoilers. Don't even go there. Don't hint at the moment. Just be there for a second. Of course, we also have Todd from Sci-Fi for Me joining us. He is probably the most animated person on this panel, and
Which nobody can see because you haven't put any of us up on the screen yet.
oh, okay, there you go. There's Todd, the most animated person on the screen. Wow, I was solo for a long time. Yeah,
All that rambling, you just forgot to put us on the screen for the world to see.
Here's a small
Like you
problem.
need a producer or something.
I do. I had one briefly, and then she left me. And then Grant's not here anymore. He's too busy being Australian. You got Toxic Man flu. He's too busy trying to make money for us in the Beach Punk store, beachpunk.us, the place you can get all your Beach Punk gear. And that's just.
By the way, I saw you show up in the chat early in our anniversary stream yesterday, and then you disappeared. You didn't join us on the show.
You said if you dare. I was like, I don't dare. I have too many things to do.
He pulled what we like to call a drive-by. Like he was there just so everyone knows that he was there. Then he left.
Yeah, he and Tom both. They dropped in and then they left, and I see how it is.
All right. I think I adjusted Jacob's mic. Jacob, speak.
Hello.
There you
go.
Hello.
I could hear him.
Is it? No. I had to bring him down. I guess he was louder than both of us. So, Space Dave, how much for the producer role? I don't pay anything.
12 bananas a month.
I will send you 12 bananas.
So.
Yes, we have no bananas.
By the way, if those of you who missed yesterday's celebration stream, you missed the reveal for Bunker 2.5. You might notice that my background's a little bit different here because we're in a different space.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah,
it was.
It's all brand new.
Yes, in honor of Ghostbusters. Yes, they were channeling their voices. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Slender Dad? Good to see you, Slender Dad. Andre Enrico's in the house. Good to see you. I think I got a lot of people in here. Oh wow, Space Dave's back, being a member or just renewed. Good to see you, Space Dave. You're amazing. And of course, the Mad Cheesemo himself, who actually got an email that has a permalink to the show. So
it's somewhere in his junk. I'm pretty sure.
Check it.
This one.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. But yeah, I got to hang out. I had an incredible time. I just want to say Saturday was extraordinary. Jason had his 2,000-year anniversary. And I hung out with Scott Sporkin News podcast. That was amazing with all like the crew. Like it was like old home week, and we said and had a ridiculous time. It was super fun. And then I did my own little, I think I can help show, which was good. I think I'm gonna leave that up for like 24 hours total, and then I'll unlist it because I think I'm gonna make that members only. That show, once it's been live, I'll leave it up for 24 hours and I'll park it in members only. So, but that's where that show's gonna live, at least until we get the channel, and then we'll have a separate channel for that show with an incredible panel. Got Gwagnar out there. Look at all these great beings. Love it. We are blessed, kids. We are blessed. SB? No. JB Spooky Review says 100K live colonoscopy stream. Gross. Gross? No. I know. Dr. Megatron. No plan to see Ghostbusters, tired of sequels. Well, that's gonna enter into the conversation later, I think. So, yeah. What else is happening? Six says for $2, are you really not going to talk about ghost use of shears?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. I hadn't intended to talk about that. Tom and I still have a disagreement there.
Yeah, I think Tom's in denial about the movie.
I don't know about that. He actually pointed me to some evidence that would suggest that they were trying to portray it as an innocent relationship between two young people.
But see,
and it was just a matter of betrayal.
I'm willing to listen to the evidence. However, even in the context in the film, if they were only supposed to be friends, then the decision that Phoebe makes towards the end of the film is even dumber by comparison. So,
yeah, there were so many. Okay, so it looks like we're going to start with Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
this film was. Have you seen it yet, Jason?
I have not. My son saw it. He liked it. Not quite as much as he wanted to, but he thought it was fine. And he didn't get into spoilers with me because he wants me to see it. So
Six says, guess where he got that evidence from? You, Six. You're the best researcher I know, so definitely you. Okay, so if you do go see the film, it is enjoyable, but it's no masterpiece. And somebody somebody in the chat right now, somebody I DM with on the regular, said that Frozen Empire is to Afterlife as Ghostbusters 2 was to the original Ghostbusters. So
here's what culture is trying to say in a very YouTube friendly way. The dog in the I'll rephrase this one. The movie is straight dog doo-doo. Okay, that's probably the best way. Yeah, it is. It's not great.
It's not. Look, I'm gonna say this was one of my favorite skits ever on TV.
But let me ask this, Jacob. Yeah. Does the movie have to be great as a sequel? Does the movie have to be great in order to be successful?
Because there's still a bunch of Ghostbusters marks out there who will just wait and go see anything involving Ghostbusters. So.
Okay,
well, I'm wondering if people will go see something just because it's at least decent. You know, I mean, we've gotten to this point where Hollywood is so creatively bankrupt that anything that's halfway good is better than what we've been getting.
Okay. Oh wait, maybe. Are you? I just got. Yeah. Follow the Bradley's fun. Great to see you, my friend. He says, "Are you talking Ghostbusters?" I just got in. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. We're not going to drop any spoilers. Because I know there's still people who haven't seen it yet that want to see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Despite Jacob's protestations and his very strong opinion on it.
Garbo.
Not being a good film, which I disagree with. It's a fine movie. It's an entertaining movie. It's a popcorn flick. It is 7 out of 10 of enjoyment. Some people would even say it's higher than that. Some people say it's way higher. I'm sorry. Look, I understand where you're coming from. And I also understand where our good friend, who else put this in here? Hang on. Alpha, 11 Alpha. I understand Tom's point. We get annoyed when others read, sexual relationships into normal friendships. So why are we doing it ourselves? I understand his point too. And this is what's great about being friends with Tom. First of all, I can call him, or I can text him, or I can DM him, or I can just annoy him, or I get on a live stream and tell him he's wrong. I can do all those things. But what's great is he and I can talk about this for hours, and it's just a difference of opinion. There's not going to change anything. on the internet, it's really hard to do that with people to have a discussion about this. And I understand
Mhm.
where he's coming from. And this is why I love this format on YouTube, where I have a live chat that we can chat with. I can understand why people would see that as reading something into it. I strongly suspect that you will hear eventually exactly what the intentions were for that if it was to loosely lean that direction with any kind of coding, right? Um, or not.
My rule of thumb is this: it's like if people from both sides of the spectrum are seeing the exact same thing, that usually means there's something there. Like if it was just one group of people who was reading into it, you can possibly make that argument. But I've seen a lot of people who aren't in our sphere whatsoever say the exact same thing that a lot of us are saying about the film, which means that if even the normies who are completely outside of left versus right are noticing the same things in this film, it's probably there.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. This was the most family oriented of all of the Ghostbusters films ever, because if you go back to the original one, it was very raunchy adult humor. Even the second one, which got toned down a bit, was more, you know, humor playing out on multiple levels. This film is more family oriented. It just was. It was.
Afterlife was too.
Technically, yeah, but
This one is
my
more so.
here's the problem here, and I guess we can talk about this without getting into spoilers. This film is just a mess. Like I know some of you guys
I
are going to
know.
disagree with me, but this film tonally is a mess. There's far too many characters in this movie, and there's very few characters you actually care about in the context of the story. Because essentially, what they're trying to do here is that you're trying to placate to the old school Ghostbusters fans who have been on this journey since 1984, and you're trying to keep them happy. So you have quite literally the 70-year-old, 80-year-old Ghostbusters are still in this movie, even though the plot really doesn't require them to be there at this point. And at the same time, you're trying to parlay the franchise into this new young adult direction because hey, we got a lot of new Ghostbusters here and they're young and they can carry this franchise for the next 10, 20 years if we play our cards right. So you're trying to please everyone, and in the course of doing that, you please absolutely no one because you create a movie for two audiences and then you don't really please anyone out of this one. I just
Well,
don't see.
I would come at that from a different direction, and this is a great line from Follow the Bradleys Fun, who, of course, Hollywood. Saw a friend of his. It was a star of the scene. Yeah, Adam was in the mid-credit scene in the Ghostbusters. That's cool, man. That is really cool. You see somebody you know. Um, yeah, I don't know. Oh, and congratulations again in person because I said it online on Twitter. But great growth in your channel. Way to go! I really thought that was awesome news when I saw that. So congratulations. Do check out Follow the Bradleys Fun if you want somebody who actually knows Hollywood inside and out. There you go.
Let me ask this real quick to Jacob's point about the normies seeing things that we normally are the only ones that see. Is it possible? And again, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what it is that everybody is seeing and reading into and all of that. Is it possible that since at least 2016, Ghostbusters 2016, and Culture War stuff, is it possible that the normies are now more sensitive to seeing things that are either really there or they've gotten conditioned to see things that are there that maybe not there?
Okay, so and this is funny and very appropriate because of I've called that for ever since I've been on YouTube, chasing ghosts or seeing ghosts.
Mhm.
We've been seeing ghosts sometimes. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes it's there, right? Sometimes what we see is actually there, and it's actually what's intended. And so it's appropriate we get this super chat from our good friend Space Dave for two Canadian dollars. I think it was strongly implied, but being safe.
Mm.
So
Yeah, Red Letter Media posted their review of the film today, and I think they put it
was that half in
perfectly.
the bag? Was that
Half in the
because I saw
bag,
half in
yeah.
the bag come up, and I thought that's what they were doing. So yeah.
Yeah, and they put it perfectly. It was like it was just enough there for plausible deniability. So just in case the public rejected, they can just say, "Hell yeah, we never meant to be like that." And in case you actually wanted it to be like that, then of course we can move in that direction. So it's like they left just enough there just to see to test the waters essentially with it. But like I said, if they noticed it, it's like, come on, guys. It's like,
yeah. This is from one of the original movies. I mean, Dan Aykroyd getting some from a ghost in one wasn't family friendly. No, no, no,
there was a
no,
callback
no.
to
There
Aykroyd's
was, there was.
interaction with a ghost, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh man, some of the jokes in the first movie were ridiculously good, but it is what it is. Um, uh, family oriented with woke tones. I didn't see a lot of. Okay, okay, be honest, Jacob. Did you see a lot of woke in this film?
I mean, outside of the undertones of said protagonist and ghost that has a plot later on in the film, not really. I mean, that was really the only one that stuck out. But here's another thing: like the whole ideal here with like the family, like it wasn't like a positive family like projected film here either, because the whole concept here is that Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon, who I forget what their characters are.
Callie and oh goodness. Oh
Gruber,
gosh,
Gruber something.
I had his name in my head a minute ago. But anyway, go ahead, continue.
But so apparently they're a couple now, and Phoebe's having like daddy issues because she doesn't want like a new stepdad. So she's like aggressively rude to like her mother throughout the entire film and whatnot. Because it's like, oh, she's 15 now, she wants to be treated as an adult, which is I get what they're trying to do with that, but at the same time, you're going out of your way to let everyone know that, hey, this girl is far smarter than your average 15-year-old girl, but she's still going to act like your everyday teenager. It really doesn't like make any sense. Like if you're going to portray her to be smarter than what she actually is, you can't revert back to, oh, well, she's a teenager, she's going to make dumb mistakes. It's like not when you set her up to be smarter than girls her own age. It's like it doesn't really click that way. And then the whole thing with like the brother who's his, I guess his whole arc in the story is that he's 18, he wants to be taken more seriously, yet no one ever takes him seriously throughout the course of the film, and there's no like redemption arc for people to take him seriously moving forward. So he's just kind of a joke the whole way in, and I just don't see any connection of there being any positive spin from a family perspective. Like there's a family in the movie, so if that's your basic definition, it's like, yeah, they're there, but
I feel like there were so many characters in the film that people didn't get fleshed out plots. Like Finn, right? He should have. First of all, you're right. Of course, he did need to eat a sandwich. But at the same time, he's at the right age to try to put on weight now. But at the same time, they didn't really let him advance very far, and he didn't learn anything from the previous film. They played him up as kind of silly, teenagery, barely into adulthood kind of thing, and then you didn't really get much other than him trying to trap, Slimer, which you've seen in the previews.
yeah.
So we're not gonna do any spoilers, guys. We're really gonna try. Tom's here from Rogue Attraction. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, there's
But
just way too many characters in this movie too. It's
there
like
was.
they carried over all the characters from the previous film. They tried to introduce new characters. Then of course you have the original Ghostbusters who are in this as well. And when you have that many characters and there's really no focus for any of them, it just feels like everyone gets lost in the shuffle.
There you go. Yeah,
It is possible to do an ensemble, but it's very carefully crafted. James and I were talking about this the other day, and he was talking about how some of the stuff he's seen, it turns into a so and so and so and so show instead of an ensemble. It's like, well, Star Trek: The Next Generation did that. It became the Picard Data show instead of an ensemble, because you have certain characters that break out in popularity, and it's entirely possible maybe they're thinking that we'll throw a bunch of new characters into the mix and see who sticks.
Well, I was partial to Counselor Troy, but hey, whatever. I'm just saying.
All I will
pick
say
their
about this
poison
film, just as his last point, is that hearing what the end credit scene of this film was, I'm glad I left immediately after the credits started rolling. So there you go.
Well, and the other thing too, Jacob, I'm going to make an assumption, but let me ask: do you have kids?
No.
Okay, all right, but so I can address your complaint about Phoebe. I don't have a daughter, but I do have a son, and he's very smart, and fortunately survived the teenage years somewhat. But hormones have a way of making anybody stupid. so
Hmm.
so depending on what they're doing with her in this story, you know, turning 15, 16 has a tendency to make people do dumb, irrational things. So,
Like I said, if we're just talking about if it was just the other kid, like in this scenario, he did something like this, I don't think anyone would think twice about it. Like I said, I think with the setup of this character throughout 2 movies up to this point now has been is that she's more obviously smarter and a little bit more mature than kids typically like her age. So
mhm.
when you try to set her up to be, like I said, be a character who's a little bit smarter, a little bit more mature than everyone else, and you can't just revert back to her making a very, very stupid decision, which we won't spoil, but it was a really, really dumb decision, and then use a justification of that. It's like, oh, well, she's 15. She's going to make dumb decisions. It's like, that's a really, really dumb decision, even for a 15-year-old
Yeah.
who's, supposed to be a lot smarter than a lot of the adults in the room. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and I just want to pause and say thanks to all of you for joining us from Valiant Renegades channel. I appreciate you being here. And sorry tonight we went early because Tom isn't doing the top 5. So thanks for following VR's lead and coming on over here. We appreciate you. Hello, Raiders, indeed. Thank you, Randall Orser, one of our favorite Canadians, and so many more. So it's good to see you, and especially Michelle. Good to see you, dear.
Yeah, and that's one more thing I'll point out too, because we mentioned like the whole concept of like the kids, because like yeah, I mean I guess they're looking at it and say, hey, we can use these kids to set up more Ghostbusters films in the future, but it's like you haven't really established any kind of character development or relationship of any of the younger kids that will make anyone even remotely interested in seeing them in a future movie by themselves. It's like if you remove the OG Ghostbusters guys completely out of this film and don't do it, and you're just going to focus solely on this new kids, you haven't really established any kind of chemistry with any of these characters with the audience that would make them be like, oh, I'm going to buy a ticket to see that next year or in 3 years when the next one comes out.
Right. No, I get that. I really do. But what I'm afraid of is this just isn't going to make enough money to justify giving a third film with this crew to move it into being more of a a transportable franchise. And again, some things are not a mental, right? They just aren't. Well, we've got a clip, courtesy of the great and powerful Six, who does and knows everything. I'm telling you, Six knows all and finds all. And Jeremiah Hembry's in the house. Good to see you. He also dropped a chat I'm going to get to in a minute and a few others. So please bear with me, folks, for those super chats. We'll get to them very quickly. But I want to bring up this video. I'm going to actually turn sound on, and we are going to listen to what was said as I hit the correct share by the actress themselves for the film Ghostbusters. So this is McKenna Grace speaking about this. So let me add it to the stream. Let me put us on the bottom. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. All right. So everybody can follow along, or actually, you know what? I'll do it on the side. There we go. All right. Here we go, folks. Let me know if you can hear the sound.
Bit of a life force, okay? We love her. Yes. She develops a crush on a ghost. I don't want to spoil anything that happens after that, but for me, I think maybe this is a bit of an unusual crush, should we say? I've had some unusual crushes in my time. One of my friends actually fancied Bart Simpson when we were younger.
Bart Simpson, oh my god.
Yeah, do you have any unusual crushes?
I love this. This is so fun. I can already tell this will be a fun interview. The other day, literally flying here for press, I was wearing, this isn't unusual because I was wearing a shirt that was like pink and it had a heart and Hayden Christensen was on it.
Okay, so far, the host here is talking about a crush.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know who this interviewer is. Props to them for doing this. I'll keep pausing it occasionally so we don't just run over what they're doing. So far, though, what did I hear? Did I hear that there was supposed to be a crush relationship in it?
From the interviewer or from her?
From the interviewer.
That was basically what she was saying, that there was supposed to be a crush between,
Okay,
the
so I want to hear what McKenna responds to. So let me keep going here.
So there's that. Oh, Hot Priest, but that's not wild.
Oh,
He's
gosh.
literally named Hot Priest.
Yeah.
From Fleabag. He's fantastic. I have him on a bag. I'm gonna be yelling out names throughout this interview because I'm gonna be thinking of people.
Okay, good.
So,
I'm
okay,
ready.
great.
Hot Priest,
Yeah,
number
it'll be
one.
great.
We're
Okay,
there.
number one.
I also love how romantic she is, but also a risk taker. I mean, almost killing yourself so you.
Okay, so this is playing into the unusual crush and the relationship. McKenna hasn't shut it down.
Can
No.
exist on the same physical plane as your crush for 2 minutes is like wild to me. What is a massive risk that you've taken in your life?
That's so funny. Yeah, that is like very Romeo and Juliet of me. What can I say? What can I say? I mean, in life, probably just moving out to California. I'm from Texas to be an actor. Whenever I was like,
Yeah, that was a mistake.
She's not acknowledging it really. She's just
No.
kind of letting the question pass, and because they're not really asking her about that. She's not rejecting the premise, but she's also not acknowledging the premise of the question.
Mm-hmm. So, like I say, it's hard to gauge her response on here because she's neither confirming or denying it. But
Yeah.
you can say that, well, if she was denying that there was anything there, she could have just easily said, well, I wouldn't exactly call it a crush, but blah, 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 insert answer here, right? But she doesn't even do that. Now, like I said, she doesn't actually acknowledge what she's asking either. So,
Well, the
based off of this
interviewer-
interview, it's hard to say confirm or deny, right? This is what we're talking
Yeah.
about, plausible deniability.
Well, and it could be that she's been told, here are the things we're going to talk about, and here are the things we're not going to talk about. But the interviewer, the person asking the questions, she's not doing a very good job
No.
because she's not framing her questions in any way that actually kind of nails a point.
Well,
says
she's a mark.
something- she said something, but then she goes completely past it for the gossipy question,
Mm-hmm.
the TMZ question. It was like, no, wait, no, hold on. You've got you start your question with something related to the story in the movie that you're discussing, that this is why you're doing the interview in the first place, and then you skip over to what are you doing? She's doing a horrible job of interviewing.
But here's the thing. She's not a professional interviewer from what I'm gauging here. She's pretty much a mark. Like, this is probably like one of those like round table type of interviews where it's like, okay, you get 5 minutes to ask this person anything that you want
Yeah.
regards to the movie, and then that's where we go on from there. Like, I've seen people do these type of interviews before, and they just like go from one journalist after another. It's like, oh, this is blah 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 from so and so, and then they'll just ask a bunch of mark questions for the
All right, let's see if we can finish this off though, because I obviously Six sent this to me for a reason, and she's not taking the bait. Let's just say it that way. McKenna Grace isn't taking the bait here. And
6,
hi, bro.
so that was a massive risk in my life, that I'm so happy I'm here now.
So she took the risk at 6. She was. This is bad parenting. If you let your kids pick what they're doing in life, it's not good. But anyway, I got to keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, Six said that
That's
was
very
all
weird to think
that was in
about.
this.
I mean, that's
Oh,
definitely
it's just
paid off.
that?
I mean,
She just wanted you to see that she doesn't deny it.
Yeah, no, she doesn't, and that's a problem, right? It's just okay. So if that's all there is to it, then we got it. And thank
But
you, Six.
here's the other question. Was this before or after the movie had been released? Because where did that talking point come from if she hadn't seen the movie? There
I
had
don't
to
know.
have been a talking point that said, yes, she's going to have an unusual crush
I
or
don't-
something to that effect if she
You're
hadn't
right,
seen the movie.
You're right, but we have Six here to speak for herself. She is the best. So Six, thank you for joining us.
What is it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to build that up into something that it obviously wasn't.
Hey,
How dare you derail the show?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I get accused of that a lot. Yeah, all the only part of that was relevant to me was the fact that it's an interviewer brings it up and she does not deny it. That's it.
And I think that she's probably trained not to react to stuff like that. What do you think?
I think if it wasn't supposed to be in the movie, she would have denied it.
Not necessarily, because if
No,
she
that
got,
really is what I think.
but yeah, I know, yeah, but I'm just saying, if she got told to ignore it,
The
just
gay questions?
just don't even acknowledge it one way or the other, then you've got a little bit of a safety net.
Yeah. So then she can play both sides. She can say, "Well, I didn't deny it, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
all
Well,
you
so
Alphabet crew, you can come watch the movie and
so
support us."
you get prepped before you do any kind of media. I mean, we have people in the audience who have been through this, so you get prepped before you do media. So you kind of have like a slate of like this is okay. This outlet's going to do this. This is the thing they're focused on. This is the conversation points that they're going to likely hit. This is you kind of want to navigate this by not acknowledging it or steering away to something else or picking a different thing that you really appreciated about the film or television project or whatever it is you're involved in, play, musical, whatnot. So I strongly suspect she was probably given that direction. Do you think that's fairly accurate, Six?
I mean, I've been.
I don't. Go ahead.
I've had opportunities to do these press junket things, Zoom and whatnot, and here are these people and they're available for 10 minutes or whatever. One thing that they will ask is if we have specific questions. And generally, if there are any embargoes or restrictions on what you can and can't ask, that's generally in the email before we ever do anything to set up a time and a space. And you're right, Jacob's right. We only have, you got 5 minutes, and it's all. And you need to be right on the ball and ask your questions and stuff. Now in person, it's a little bit different because you got a little bit more. You're interacting.
It's a banter. Yeah.
By
But
the way, it's just like imagine only having 5 minutes to interview this person, and like that's the question you ask. It's just like,
but it's likely that they knew going into it what she was going to ask,
right?
And the other thing too, it's maybe I'm going to allow for the possibility because McKenna Grace is a fairly smart person. Seems to be on different things that I've seen her do in interviews and whatnot. It could very well be that you've got a group of performers, actors, writers, and such, who have seen interviews, things getting said in interviews that get taken completely out of context or get misconstrued or get misrepresented or whatever. I mean, you look at what happened with the directors of the Dungeons and Dragons. They said something really stupid, which they shouldn't ought to have said, and it harmed the box office for the movie.
Oh, it killed it.
And maybe some people in Hollywood are learning lessons from that. Like, look, these are third rail topics. We're not even going to acknowledge they exist so that nobody can make anything of it. Because I'm not going to say one way or the other. I'm not even going to acknowledge this topic, acknowledge this question, just completely ignore it. And that way it can't be used for any particular agenda one way or the other. Maybe. I don't know. You would listen to me sounding like the optimist.
Culture, you're muted.
Okay, I'm always going to bring up, and thank you. I'm always going to bring up the people I know that speak from a position of having been in it, right? So, Follow the Bradley's Fun says she sideswiped it. So she saw the thing coming and she just sidestepped the question.
Yeah,
that's what she did, and that's 100% right. Like I said, you're always prepared, whether you're on Jason's side of things or you're on the talent side of things. Both of you are prepared for what this is supposed to be. And that's oftentimes when you get people that react so poorly during an interview because they get smashed and they don't want to have any part of it. And you can gracefully avoid it, deftly avoid, move to the side of whatever it is and deflect, or you can react aggressively and angrily and change the tone of the whole interaction. Anyway, Matt just joined us. How's it going, man?
Yeah, that's actually similar to what's happening with Tyron Smith, the future Hall of Fame left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. He's with the Jets now, and I've seen more interviews with him since joining the Jets than I have in the past 10 years of him being with the Cowboys. He never talked to the media. It was because when he was a rookie, Colombo, one of the older vets, was like, don't talk to them. Nothing good can come of it. You're going to say something you didn't mean to say. It's going to be interpreted wrong, and it's just going to be problems. You just never talk to anybody.
which is generally the smarter way to go.
Yep.
Not a bad course of action.
But I think some of them are actually they in their contract they have to deal with the media so many
Press
times.
Availability.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tyron Smith who has to use knee braces for his elbows because his arms are so big, then you ain't got to talk to nobody.
That's crazy stuff.
That's true. Yeah, on his arms.
I believe you, but that's just crazy. Real quick, I wanted to acknowledge the people who have sent some super chats. I told them we'd get to them, and we will.
Hi, Cece.
Hey, CC Karaoke joined us. Love to have another wonderful Canadian with us. Space Dave 2000 says, should have been a two-parter with a cliffhanger. Well, they could have done that, but I think there was just too much stories with too many characters. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think they have enough goodwill built up to have a two-parter already.
Well, I mean, look what happened to Mission Impossible. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, what was it for? What's the
Ghostbusters? Should it have been a two-part? The latest Ghostbusters.
No, look, guys, like we just need to end this. Like seriously, we don't need any more Ghostbusters movies in the future. It's over. We can argue that there's only been maybe 2 good Ghostbusters films up to this point. Like let it go. Just let it go. Let Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray die in peace. We don't need to resurrect this whole franchise again for another several years. It's over.
I bet we're gonna get another one.
Well, based on box office performance, which is what tomorrow's video is going to be off of, if you're looking for a video first thing in the morning, I'll have
your
that up for you.
15-minute daily?
No, before that, I'll be dropping a video, and it'll be about the box office top 5, and we'll talk about performance, but roughly all I'm going to say now is the performance of this film will not merit a reasonable it's not going to make enough money to make it reasonable to make a third film.
Or at least not anywhere near the same budget. If they do decide to make one, they make us cut.
They didn't. Yeah, you know what, Matt? That's a good point. But I mean, they didn't step up all that much in budget. I think they stepped up like 25 million or so. But
that, I mean, 25 million, nothing.
Yeah. It's
Not with inflation.
Right? What did they find that in their couch?
Probably.
But since when does a movie's success tell Hollywood whether they're going to make a sequel or not?
Well, right now with investors paying attention and the fact that we're headed into major economic problems in the very near future,
like we're not already.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. But
would this
you make a good point.
this be doing better if Reitman had directed it?
Yes.
I no clue.
Yeah, instead of his friend that co-wrote it with him. Yeah. I mean, stick with what you know, and boy, that kid knows everything his dad ever did. So, Follow the Bradley's Fun for another $2 super chat. Thank you, my friend. It says, props for culture and panel. Good chat. Hey, we're blessed. We're blessed with an amazing audience. 460 some of you watching live. Thank you. And we are blessed with, good people to hang out with. I love all these people on the
Culture, can you level me and Matt out a little bit on our volume? We're apparently blowing everybody out.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not on my end. My settings should be fine.
Okay, I dropped you 50%.
I mean, I literally haven't touched my audio since I started this show, and people are saying
I pulled Mad down 50%. So okay, should be good.
Thank you.
Randall Orser, a Canadian $6.99.
Right.
Thank you, my friend. One of my friendly Canadians. Extraction 3 is coming in 2025. Hemsworth with Idris Elba. That'll be cool. There's a teaser trailer on YouTube. Looks good. I will have to check that out. I know for a fact we'll probably cover that on the H-Cast on Tuesday with Mr. H. But I'm glad there's good things coming out. We need them. I don't know about the rest of it.
I gotta be honest. The first Extraction movie I think is really good. The second one was very disappointing. I don't know how excited I'm going to be about a third one because, if it's just Hemsworth and Elba, that'll be great. That'll probably be a good movie. But if they start adding all the other characters they shoehorned in the second movie, I might not be as interested. So we'll see.
I understand. 6, what do you think about Hemsworth movies? Do you like them?
It depends on the movie.
Okay.
I like Thor. I've liked all the Thor movies. But you're talking about Chris, right?
Yeah. Talking about Chris.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, okay. All right. I was just curious. I mean, because the ladies that I know, they really like, Hemsworth.
Well, I'm
movie.
an adult. I don't go to a movie because a guy is hot.
Oh, okay.
Really? I do.
CC karaoke. You haven't said much. We're gonna try to wrap up the Ghostbusters part of the conversation because I think we kind of nailed it. But yeah, what did you think of Ghostbusters? Have you had a chance to see it? Are you going to see it?
I haven't seen it. No. I mean, I partly because I live a 2-hour drive from the nearest theater, which makes it difficult. Except when I go to the theater, when I go to the city, I can.
There you go.
Otherwise, yeah.
I
But
highly
I
recommend
you know what? If a movie's filled with scantily clad ladies, I'm probably more likely to see it.
Less likely.
More likely.
No, me.
Yeah,
For Matt, it's
Oh,
less
really?
likely.
Yeah.
come on. I was
Gets in the
I was
way
in the
of
Booster
story.
Juice last week, and the ladies they were
Nah, bro.
watching Baywatch, and I couldn't fault them. I'm not really a Baywatch fan, but I understood, that the draw for them to tune into that.
Gets
Oh,
in the
yeah.
way of the story.
I just want believable heroes, and of course we've got a lot of celebrities in the chat. Thank you all for dropping in. I got Pro in here. I love this show and this channel. I love you and your channel. So there you go. Aha.
gay.
Touche. Sure. Fine. I'm gay. It's fine. Let's see. I saw Tina in the house. Good to see you. So many other folks dropped in. Anybody else want to put some like a bow on this subject?
I want to put a bow in your hair.
All right. Ooh. Apparently, we're putting a bow on something. Let me make this. Let me embiggen this. What is this? Oh, it's Chris. It's Mr. Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth for the ladies.
Okay. Yeah. He's fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be in that Furiosa movie that may or may not suck in a couple of weeks. So who knows?
We'll
I
find
can
out.
answer that.
May or may not.
Wait, Matt, can you really answer it?
Yeah, it's gonna suck, dude.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I mean, it's gonna look good visually because he director, great, right?
Right.
Really, really great director. And what was the last Mad Max without Mad Max? Really, that one,
Yeah.
it looked great.
But
I mean, there was a lot of practical effects in that movie, though.
Yeah,
By
absolutely.
comparison, this latest trailer looks pretty CGI heavy.
I
Didn't even bother watching it.
love practical effects, but sometimes you can do CGI, right? They missed a few edges in Ghostbusters. Let me grab Shrebel's super chat here real quick, and then we'll jump back in it. $4.99 from Shrebels. What's up? He says, yes, please stop all reboot and sequel films except Top Gun Rooster / Hangman. That'd be cool. Please create new awesome IP films. Hail, CultureCasino, and Panel. There is no arguing with that at
I
all.
can give it a shot. I have no issue with remakes or reboots because I don't want to bring up Joseph Campbell this early on, but if you think of the monomyth, right? And we're telling basically a handful of stories in different variations throughout time, and in some ways, everything is a reboot. And I think that we've seen in the past that is they're capable of making a good sequel or reboot. I'm just saying. I don't think we should just throw the baby out with the water. Is what I'm saying.
Right. Well,
Just because they're capable doesn't mean they're going to do it. I mean, there's been
course.
a lot of films that they are capable of making a good film that turned out to be other dog doo doo. So
right, but okay.
just
I just want to ask a fair question of everybody. So, and this is in reference to this from Psycho Magus. Fury Road sucked. Some people think that. So of course Furiosa will too. Well, the question is that going to be his fault? Because I know Chris can actually act. He does a good job. He honors his craft, even though he's usually looked at as a big lug. But if he has a good performance and the movie sucks, it's not his fault. Right?
Well, it's his fault in the sense that he keeps picking these absolute dog crap movies to star in, and it seems like he's picking these movies by choice. Because there was a story that we covered for Bounding a few weeks ago, alluding to the fact that he's purposely picking a lot of these films that he's been in, like such as Ghostbusters and Men in Black, and a lot of the Furiosa is another one, Snow White and Huntsman, because these movies seemingly feature strong female leads, and he admitted that his mother kind of raised him as a feminist, so he likes being in these type of movies that have the attraction or the allure of strong female leads, and a lot of these movies are really, really bad. I mean, we could look at the last Thor movie he did that was not great, even though I think he knows that movie was not great, but still he's still seemingly choosing to be a part of a lot of these projects that just aren't well done. So after a while, you can say, well, he's technically not the reason why the movie is bad in and of itself because of the writing and the directing, but you're still attaching yourself to these terrible projects. So you got to take somewhat of the blame here for a lot of these movies being bad too, just based on that, right?
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
do you want
Why
him to
did-
starve?
Why did he pick Thor: Love and Thunder if he wants to be in movies with strong female leads? Because Natalie Portman was so weak she died.
He had a multi-movie contract that he was contractual
That-
obligated.
I don't
to
think
do.
he got a choice on that
I
one.
think that was.
I don't think he's picking a story. I think he's picking a paycheck.
Yeah, and I think that for those films, I think you are. When you, I hate to say it, but sometimes I think there are paycheck movies, and sometimes there are actual passion projects that are, or films that you really want.
And there's nothing wrong with that
No.
because it's like Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood would do the paycheck movie to be able to do the passion project.
One for them, one for me.
Sydney Sweeney even said, one of the reasons why she did Madam Web is so she could make connections at Sony, and that helped her get Immaculate made. So, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, how old is this kid? She's what, 20 something?
24, 25.
Yeah, she's in her
Yeah,
early 20s.
and she's already talking about
Bigger
strategic
things.
business
Bigger things.
strategery, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a smart cookie. She needs to be. We need to keep an eye on this one.
Yeah, she's going to be good, and you're 100% right. Look, Sydney Sweeney has, of course, we all joke about her level of attractiveness and all of that because, well, she has that. There's a certain thing you have in Hollywood, but she also is brilliant, and she knows how to talk. She knows how to talk to the press. She knows how to talk off the cuff. She knows how to move things around. I mean, she went on SNL after a failed film and made lemonade out of a box full of lemons. I mean, it was great.
I'll be honest. I have no idea what her voice sounds like. I've never heard her speak.
You might be disappointed.
And she even said, "Hey, I got hired. I did the best I could with the job I had to do. If people don't like it, that there's not anything I can do about it." I mean, she was pretty smart in that.
Oh, and she may have picked up some certain leanings from her parents that make her money wise.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, look, we have a lot of attractive actresses now, and they're actually being marketed for their attractiveness. That is a change. We haven't seen that in Hollywood for a while. This is something they're willing to market now, which they weren't before. That's a change.
Maybe it's because the picture's so small on my screen, but this is not this is not her best photo.
I got others if you want. I mean,
it just may be because it was
this
small.
was the safest one to begin with. So
and that's the other problem, right? Because she does wear a lot of risque things, and look, I'm sorry, when you're an actor, and we have some in the chat, people that I love and respect.
I can see it. Yeah.
But we have some in the chat, and you're supposed to be pretty. I mean, you're supposed to have your own unique, pretty look. You have exotic beauty like Baccarin, the lady from
Marina Baccarin
from Deadpool, right? And many other things like V and all the other things that she was in to get there, right? But actors have a certain look. They also have it. It is not easily quantifiable. Sometimes you see it and you know what it is, but you always know what it is when it happens. And so that's that X factor that they hire for. That's why you get a job. It's why you're on.
This is what I'm looking forward to with the whole Sydney Sweeney situation, because this is going to come to a head probably sooner rather than later. Is that so Sydney Sweeney is on the same HBO show that Zendaya is in called Euphoria. If you haven't watched it, it's an absolutely terrible show. Don't watch it. But obviously, in the context of that show, that's supposed to be Zendaya's show, and Zendaya has done very well for herself the last couple of years, being, I guess you could say in a lot of ways, the Hollywood it girl. But now Sydney Sweeney star is on the rise, so you're gonna have both of them being viewed as the next big things in Hollywood, and there's going to become a point where ego is going to come into play, and I fear that there's going to be a conflict with those two in the very, very near future. I wish I can allude to more things that I possibly know, but let's just say I think there's going to be a very, very interesting conflict in the future.
Although she did say at one point that she would welcome an opportunity to be back in another Marvel movie if she was working with Zendaya. So
I look. I mean,
take that for what it's worth. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that one of the,
Go ahead.
no, I was just saying maybe Sweeney understands that Zendaya right now is the it girl. Let's hitch our wagon to this horse while we can and boost whatever popularity that we're already enjoying. I mean, she's making a name for herself already, but if she can take advantage of Zendaya's clout in addition to that while she can, because Zendaya's not going to be around for much longer, I don't think. So do it now while you can, and then when Sweeney takes off even higher than she is, she'll already have been able to use that energy from Zendaya's stardom.
Well, the thing is, Sweeney at least has her looks. Neither of them can really act. So Zendaya will fall off. Sweeney will still have the looks to play around with. The only thing Sweeney's done wrong so far that I've seen is recently the article where she said it's so weird how people are talking about my body while every photo shoot is something like the photo to our side.
That doesn't
or
give you
going on
permission.
SNL.
It's like you were literally
specifically trying to be sexualized.
It was like you were literally in a Hooters outfit 2 weeks ago on Saturday Night Live. It's like you can't then turn around and be like, "Oh my god, why are people talking about my boobs on the internet?" It was like, well,
yeah.
What's the context of that statement? Was she saying it like a blonde, or was she saying it, like I don't want people looking at my body? There's a difference there, right?
Saying it like a feminist.
Yeah. Well, back.
That's what I was saying. Because she's saying it like a blonde. That's kind of cute, honestly.
Sure, and people have been comparing her to Marilyn Monroe recently. So
now, I'm sorry. How do blondes say things, Cece?
What now? Say that again.
With the kind of unassuming, I had no idea this. I had no idea this was actually what you meant. But they really blondes are much smarter than they let on, right? That's what I meant by that. It's like, people are looking at my body. Oh, she knows, but she's just kind of saying it like.
You're not saying
I had no idea.
You're not saying blondes are dishonest, are you?
No.
Well, maybe a little bit, but everybody, that's.
I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you,
Jason. I can't.
Well, why not? Why not use it?
Okay.
Jason, I can't show that one.
I kind of wish you would.
That's a lot of skin, bro. I'm a family channel most of the time.
No, you're not.
Not on
tonight.
late
You're
night.
not.
Well, we aren't as late tonight, and we got all the Valiance folks joining us tonight.
All right, here.
I'm gonna put this another way. Right, my grandmother, before she passed, she was diagnosed with her mind was going, but her mind wasn't really actually going. When people weren't looking, she'd turn to me and she's like, "I have all of my capacity," right? So there's this kind of like, if people look at you and assume that you're dumb and you play into it, I always thought that was a bit humorous, because I remember my grandmother doing that. She'd act like she was 100 years old, and she was, and then they'd kind of let her do things, and then
there's definitely an element of making yourself seem dumber than you actually are, so that people don't take you as seriously. And there's an element of surprise to that, but like I said, I'll put it this way. I don't think that Sydney Sweeney is stupid by what I've heard her say in previous interviews. I do think she's a lot smarter than she lets on. I think she's more savvy when it comes to business than she lets on too. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how she navigates her career and in the course of the next few months to a couple of years, because like I said, her star power is on the rise right now. More people are going to be talking about her over the next few years than they have been before, so it's going to be very interesting to see how she navigates around the Hollywood beast, right? Because there's a lot of people who have tried to play this game and a lot of people who've gotten chewed up and spit out. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see how this whole plays out moving forward.
All right. Yeah, and this absolutely right. Absolutely right. She's kind of a lot like Pam Anderson, because Pam Anderson pretty smart about the business, and navigated some very difficult times and very interesting ways.
But then again, Pam Anderson didn't go a little bit off the wacko basket too, though. So you gotta keep that in mind as well. So
Yeah, but Wacko Basket's fine. It's just fine.
This is where we will find out for sure when she's doing press for Barbarella.
Hey, somebody rumored that was happening.
She's Barbarella in the
No,
remake.
but I mean, yeah, but I mean, when I first heard that rumor way back, I was like, I see it, but we'll see. I know this. Nicholas Horton, who definitely picked out one of my favorite animes right now, Edge Runners on Netflix, says, "Hail, CC. Imagine Sydney in the classic black cat suit." Well, yes. Yes.
well, I
Everybody
mean,
else? Yes?
if you really want them to start a fight with Zendaya fans, yeah, have her be Black Cat in the next Spider-Man movie and see how well that's gonna go.
I think it'd go over great.
See, and on the DC
with the
side,
audience, yeah.
on the DC side, she could be Power Girl. She could be Black Canary.
Oh yeah.
I'd see her as Power Girl before I see her as Black Canary, but she could do either one. So,
Well,
Power Girl with the window cut out.
yes, yeah.
Well, what
you'd
she won't
you'd
be
have to
doing-
be a comic book accurate outfit.
What she won't be doing is playing one of the spider chicks in Madam Web 2.
Hey, I mean, Brie Larson's not playing Captain Marvel anymore, so let's bring in the real Miss Marvel. How about that? Multiverse, baby.
There you go. Yeah, Amanda Seyfried hasn't done a whole lot. Davinia Duckworth says she was on Big Love. Man, what a weird show that was.
Oh man, I didn't know she was on Big Love. I kind of liked it. It was different. But
man-
I'm a big fan of what's his name? Game Over, man.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. Yeah, I love this movie, Frailty. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, we lost so many great actors. That's the other problem, right? It is like now as I get older, the people that I really connected with are starting to die.
It's almost as if it's happening every generation.
I
We
don't know.
lose
It's like,
actors.
it sneaks up on you, Matt. It really does.
What sucks is you see people coming out of college that you watch their dad play in the NFL, and now they're about to be drafted. Like, oh man, that's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
My
and
generation's
it
kind of
does-
used to it.
and
All
it
the
does
grunge
seem-
singers died.
It does seem like
Put it to you.
it's been a little bit more of an accelerated pace the last few years for some reason.
Yeah. And I want to wonder what could have happened during that time period.
Can't put my finger on it, but it's some
Climate change.
yeah.
Yeah,
maybe,
there it is.
Maybe,
There it is. Yep,
maybe.
that's true.
maybe something to do with horses. I don't know. Anyway,
Carrie-Anne Moss is a better fit, even with the Matrix choreography. Oh wow, are we
for
talking
Acolyte?
about?
For Acolyte,
Oh goodness, please don't get me started on that. Oh, we don't have enough time for that. We have a hard out tonight, so. But
right?
What
I'm not
time is
kidding.
the hard
No,
out?
for real, for
In
real,
56 minutes.
for real.
Usually under a minute for me,
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
and
Anyway,
I've never denied it.
So anyway, Immaculate, not great. 2 out
Oh
of
yeah,
5.
thank you. Okay,
2 out of
yeah,
5.
I did want to talk about that. So let me reposition us again. Ta-da. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. All right. Tell us in a spoilery way about Immaculate, Sydney Sweeney's gory thriller.
I'm going to give you the too long didn't read version because, to be quite honest with you, not a lot happened in this movie, and then I can't really explain much without going into full spoilers. So the film is about a girl who goes to Italy to join some kind of covenant of the Roman Catholic Church, and she meets these people who wear black robes and a red mask, and all of a sudden she just ends up pregnant out of nowhere. So everyone starts treating her as if she's the new Virgin Mary, but then things start happening to her. So she realizes, maybe I'm not pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Maybe something else is going on here. And then the rest of the movie is just her trying to escape for the most part. That's about it. I mean, nothing really happens here. It's not a well-written horror film. It's very dull. It's very dry. It's the equivalent of a roller coaster that doesn't go up or down, but just goes straight from point A to point B, and then you just get off. So it's less than 90 minutes, and it is a film that certainly happened.
But why is it called Immaculate though? Right? That's not that term or whatever isn't for the birth of Christ. It was for
Immaculate
Immaculate
Conception.
Conception.
Yeah.
Well,
You,
If I get into
but-
that, that's even
Mad thinks
Hold
it's
on.
about Franco Harris picking the ball up off the turf and running.
No,
for
I
a
don't.
score.
No. Hold on. Let me Google first. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Hold on.
Lil Chad's in the house. He's usually right. I got to buy this guy a pizza. I'm so bummed out. Oh, I should have stuck with my original box office prediction.
Yeah. So, like I said, that's pretty much the film. I mean, there's really not much else to it. It's a straightforward, generic Roman Catholic horror film. You've seen several of these over the last few years, like 5 that I can think of just the last 2 years alone. It's the same concept over and over again. So it's nothing that's going to be like, oh, now her star power is on the rise. Just like it's a movie, and then that's roughly it.
Well, this was her.
Yeah, I
production
was right.
company, though, right?
She was a producer on it. I'm not sure if this was her company or I mean it could be. I just don't know exactly where the production company is.
Well, the problem is it came out of a very small film studio called Neon, so I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Well, and the script is a rewrite from one that was written. This particular script is I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. Apparently, she had auditioned for this when it was set at a school, or some difference in the script. And then when she was talking to the director about collaborating and doing stuff again, working together again, she's like, "Oh, you remember that script? I auditioned for this, and let's do." And she tracked down the writer in order to get this script into the pipeline, and they did the rewrite on it for the convent stuff.
Well,
so this script has been around for a while.
And that happens, right? It'll bounce around, people like hold on to it or whatever, and then they move it along. And Little Chad's, the film only cost $10 million, so it'll be profitable. I agree with you. I think it already made like $6 million in open.
Real quick though, I was right that the Immaculate Conception isn't about the birth of Christ. It's about Mary being born free of original sin.
Which is not really true, but that's an argument.
I'm just telling you in Catholicism what.
I agree.
Who said it was about the birth of Christ?
Well, I said when I said.
Oh no, he was asking earlier if it was.
No, I wasn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't have to do with the birth of Christ, and everybody's like, no, it is.
He was trying to figure out why the movie was called Immaculate.
Yes, because if it's about her being pregnant, I don't understand. You get what I'm saying?
Immaculate Conception.
Yeah. So
like I said, the name of the title is obviously that there's so many references in the film to the Virgin Mary. So in the context of the movie, they're presenting her up to be the new Virgin Mary. So that's why they call the film Immaculate. That's really just what it is. There's really not much to it outside of that. But yeah.
So far, domestic box office is 5.3 million.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like 6, but yeah, no, that's fine. So
but that's just domestic, so we don't have.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Yet.
I feel like it'll do pretty good. I mean, and look, I mean, we objectify men and women. Even guys objectify men. Ask Mad. So it happens.
I was not listening
constantly.
I don't objectify Mad at all.
Wait, no. I didn't say we objectified Mad. I said even Mad, or actually, Mad's the leader of objectifying men. To be fair,
yeah.
Top Gun.
Only the good-looking ones.
See, that's objectifying.
Well, speaking of objectifying good-looking men, do you want to roll this into a Roadhouse discussion too? Because that was also
we will. You know what? We will definitely do that. We'll also do this.
I watched it twice.
There he is. There's Mr. Hemsworth for my female viewers. By the way, thank you to all the ladies in my audience. You are almost at 10% of my viewership. You used to be at 13% of my viewership. So recruit some ladies. Ladies, thank you. It'll get me to 25K. Sorry, done shilling. Oh no. What did we lose? 6.
Yeah, you chased off the only woman who was actually on the show.
Mad at me. It was me. I feel bad now. She's the best.
Well, she had brought up the article about Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, she did?
She sent it to you.
Oh, cool. Let me grab that real quick.
Well, while he does that, yeah, I saw Roadhouse twice in the same day.
Made me watch it once.
It's a fun movie. It's not a great movie. It's definitely not going to hold up to the original. So, I mean, you got to keep your expectations somewhat tempered when it comes to this. But the two best things about the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal is really good, but he's a good actor, so it's not really a surprise.
That's true.
and Conor McGregor is so over the top cartoonish in the movie, and you have to understand it looks like bad acting from the outsider perspective, but then
Because
you
it
see
was.
what. But when you see what Conor McGregor is in real life, you realize he's not actually acting in the movie, which what makes it better.
He's just
I had
being
the
him.
opposite thought. I literally was sitting there. I was like, wow, he can't even play himself.
No, have you seen him recently? No, he's
Who the fuck put this tree here? Sorry,
dude.
it's a
He
from the
is
movie.
190 pounds of just like cocaine filled like maniacsy, whatever the technical word is. He's an absolute maniac at
Well,
this point.
that tracks because Joel Silver was the producer on this one, so there had to be mountains of cocaine
Oh
somewhere.
The dialogue was so bad
Dude,
in the movie.
So I watched it in the day. I was like, oh man, this is flirting on Neil Breen level of movie making. And so I forced my guys that Brahma, Chad, Slender, I made them watch it later on that night for What the Flick, for my channel. And Chad, I think, had the best line. He said, "This makes the original Roadhouse look grounded."
Well, this is the big problem with doing a Roadhouse remake. It's like
Roadhouse.
the original Roadhouse was a film that was a product of the time that it was in. Like it
Mhm.
was 1989, where people loved over the top, action B movies, and that film played up to the time period perfectly. The
Yeah.
problem with this movie is that you're trying to do a modern remake of that, but doing it in a more modern, realistic sense, and it just doesn't work out because the concept of Roadhouse in and of itself wasn't very realistic. It was basically a guy going to a small town and in the middle of nowhere in Missouri, and an over the top, biker bar where fights break out every single night. He has to be the person to clean things up, and
Yeah,
he
the
gets
cooler.
entangled. He gets entangled with the town's big bad who owns everything. And it's like I say, it was just pure B movie schlock, and that's why people loved it. But when you try to modernize it and make it realistic, it just doesn't work the same
Well,
way.
how can you ever top the greatest line I've ever heard, which was, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison." Who says that to another dude in the middle of a fight? It is the most disturbing thing.
Best character in the remake is definitely Fred the Tree.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Fred
that-
the Tree. was
Wasn't
great.
that the jawline? Anyway, the jawline guy that was
Oh,
in-
real quick, you want to hear something that's really going to upset everybody? Brahma, what were your thoughts about the original Roadhouse?
Still
this
haven't
is
seen
fun.
I
You haven't seen
either.
it?
No, I haven't seen Roadhouse.
How about Secret of the Ooze?
Kick him off
Nope,
the show.
I haven't seen any TMNT movies. Even Tom.
Just thought I'd put that out there.
I'm sorry. What did Brahma
That's
say?
for not having any ammo in your gun I picked up after you died earlier.
Oh, were you guys playing Helldivers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
for like 5 hours today.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
for 3 missions. Didn't even realize
Today
it.
was Palm Sunday. I'm not getting into it. Anyway, Sydney Sweeney says she's trying to figure out how to deal with people objectifying her as a young actor. I just kind of have to take it day by day and just keep being myself. Well, wait a minute.
Well, herself is very out there.
Yeah.
Both of
Oh,
herselves
that's not
are.
promising at all.
No.
Jacob, because you've seen it in the Roadhouse. I talked to the other guys about it too. It looked as though they CGI'd the punches right when they were supposed to connect with someone's face to make it look like it actually hit, but it turned out it just looked cartoony when I was watching it though.
Hey.
Every right before impact, it looked as though they did something in After Effects,
Yeah, well, here's the problem because you have Conor McGregor who can actually fight, but you have him going up against Jake Gyllenhaal, who's an actor. So they have to find a way to kind of like work the fight scene so that Conor doesn't like actually knock Jake Gyllenhaal out cold. So there was a lot of like weird like choreography between the two because they were basically both trying to like work a fight that didn't click like kind of well too.
It wasn't bad though. There wasn't shaky cam because with Lyman, I always worry that he'll bring in the real shaky cam, all the 100 cuts like what Snodgrass did for Born Supremacy or whatever.
I hate to interrupt this amazing discussion. I really do. But
It better be worth it.
I want to read this article and we have
Better not
less
be
than
about a
15
woman.
minutes to wrap the show. So in order not to give an abbreviated wrap, I wanted to talk about this. So this is the article that Six sent us, and I thank her for it. Talking about this, Sydney broke into acting mainstream, yada, 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 euphoria, like you guys were talking about. So Sweetie's fame hasn't come without some hindrances. I don't know what those would be. She's still learning to deal with the level of criticism she faces, particularly some people objectifying her body. She doesn't get criticized for that, does she?
Not that I'm aware of.
I kind of just have to take it day by day and just keep being myself. Laura asked if she thought it was an unfair amount of scrutiny. She said, I think that it's just, of course, it's not natural. I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with all of it. So she's 26.
It's not natural?
She's 26. Yeah, I guess. People feel connected and free to be able to speak about me in whatever way they want because they believe that I've signed my life away. I am not on a human level anymore because I'm an actor.
Like I said,
there's a
it's a
certain
pretty
amount.
feminist slant.
Yeah, but there's a certain amount of truth to that because how many actors over the years have talked about, being confronted on the street for something one of their characters have done. There is a disconnect. People look at actors differently than we look at normal everyday people, and we shouldn't, but it's out there.
But that's about a character
no
they
longer
played,
you're
not
no
about
longer a
how they
real
dress.
person because I see you on a screen. You're not a real person. You're an object. You're a thing. You're an avatar for whatever story you're in.
That's kind of why I love what we do here is because we have an interaction with our audience, and maybe she through this kind of thing she's trying to do that. I don't know.
Could
I
be.
think if she went on a YouTube chat or something, let's say she went on Friday Night Tights or some big show like that, or this latest fascination with this new thing called Unsubscribed. She went over there or whatever, did an interview. I think people would be able to like feel like they were connected to her in a way that wasn't objectifying. I think all it takes is a conversation to solve that problem, and I think oftentimes we're very critical of actors and actresses that go out in social media and tell us what they think about X political thing, but there was a certain level of skill that was required to do interviews and things back in the old days in Hollywood, where you spoke honorably about this and that, and you joked creatively with the host or whatever. We're missing that era, is what we're missing, because it changes the perspective and perception of the audience when it comes to actors and actresses. But I had to pull that down because we really are running out of time, and I want everybody to have a chance to answer this. I'm going to go last. Super chat from John Common for $5 says, panel, finish this sentence. Sometimes I wish she just Brahma
Was a bro.
Make me a sandwich.
Okay. So that's two answers.
Oh, I wish she'd just turn into a bro. Sorry, I didn't read it.
Okay, fair enough. Jason?
Are we talking about Sweeney?
No, this is just a general question.
Sometimes I wish she'd just. Oh, no.
Let me get the new. I love get internet high broadband
dirty
speed
old man
internet.
thoughts happening over there.
No. No.
Stalling is not going to help you.
Sometimes no.
This is a family show.
I know. No. I'll discretion is the better part of valor. No.
I
got you.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish she'd just believe me that I didn't leave the toilet seat up.
Well, there
on
you go.
purpose.
By the way, I actually found the company that makes the toilet seats that just automatically lifts the seat after you're done.
You were looking for this for a particular reason?
Just for fun.
Oh, okay.
I got one. Sometimes I wish you get kidnapped. That way she actually has something interesting to talk about.
Based.
Oh.
All right. Well, CC
I think more
Karaoke,
would
you'll
be
save me.
kidnapped.
I trust you. You'll save me.
Well, this show's not R-rated enough for all the many things in my mind. How about this? Sometimes I wish she'd just give me the remote control to her device.
To her device. Y'all have different TVs or what's up?
I'm not talking about TV.
Like you have
All right,
Roku's in different rooms?
And for me, sometimes I wish she'd just bring me a cup of tea.
It's a very safe answer.
It's an honest answer right now. I'm out of tea. Eric K is in the house for $5. He says, how soon till Sydney, much like Scarlett Johansson, did say how bad it was to be objectified? Scarlett Johansson built her career on her look. She did.
She kind of just said that.
There was an article not too long ago. I think it was just recently, where they're
By the
talking
way,
about her, on the island. You know, that movie she did with
Obi-Wan,
Ewan
Ian
McGregor.
McGregor.
There's
Michael
a
Bay movie.
scene. There's a scene where I guess they're in bed. They wake up,
Mhm.
and they tell Michael Bay told her she has to wear the bra. She's like,
Yep.
I'm perfectly fine going topless because I'm waking up. No woman sleeps in the bra. He said, yeah, but we got to keep the PG-13, so you got to sleep in the bra. She has demonstrated over the years that she's perfectly willing to put herself out there. I mean, the skin, the one where she's the alien. I mean, she's
Well,
completely naked in most of that. So
yeah,
I mean,
well,
you know,
it also, hang on, you're forgetting early on in her career, she did that one like the ensemble picture, where she got butt naked and jumped in the pool.
Well, you also forget that she also had a relationship with a certain super producer in Hollywood that was probably a big influence of why she got so many roles early on in her career.
There you go. On that note,
J.J. Abrams.
On that note, unfortunately, and I want to say thank you to everybody who super chatted and all my members who member chatted. I want to say thank you. We have to wrap up. I have other obligations I have to meet this evening, including sleeping. So I just want to say I appreciate my panel this evening, and I really appreciate Six joining us and bringing all these great stories to us. On that note, you have 30-second elevator speeches. We're going to go to Brahma. Go.
Let's see. Tomorrow on Comics Channel, Monday Night Meltdown. Tuesday night, Party Animals on my channel. Wednesday, we've got a Christian panel on Carrie Smith's channel, followed by Yelling at Parked Cars.
Wonderful.
And
by the
Saturday
way,
nights, Bourbon and Boarding on my channel and That 70s Rock Bands.
Beautiful. And currently we have 420 people watching us. That's right. Mad Morgan, what you got going on, brother?
I may do some game streaming on my channel, but I'm in a transitional phase of YouTubing.
That's what we've heard.
We talked. You're in the DM group. We had a whole conversation about this.
I'm excited about it. I am.
Yeah, I just need to find a producer. But seeing you and how much you struggled, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should wait until after he finds one.
I know. Well, you need what we need is Kip.
Yeah, but
Kip's the best producer.
Kip's more of a talent to me, though. I don't
he's
think
a
of him as a
talented
producer. I think he's yeah.
Oh, see?
Anyway, but yeah, that's it
got
for me. I
T.
got big things on the horizon. Maybe, who knows?
I got tea, everybody.
Nice.
Cool.
See?
Cool.
It was good that that's what you asked for then.
I know. I'm blessed.
yeah, that
She's
was it for
watching.
me.
She's watching. The boss is in the audience, everybody.
We got some.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Matt, for coming on. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Last thing. Shogun is awesome.
Yeah.
Villains from 2019 with Bill Skarsgård, the one that played Pennywise. Really, really fantastic movie. I watched it for the first time. Never heard about it, and I really enjoyed it. I recommend it.
He's about to make an inferior Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the correct term is abomination. That's what you're
okay. Yeah, that's a different film, though. Jason from Sci-Fi for Me TV. Go.
Yes, just, we have Sarah Beth Durst is going to be here, author, talking about her new book on Tuesday. Todd and I always enjoy being here. Thanks for having us. Good to see everybody in the chat. We will do it again. From Bunker 2.5.
Okay, so Six is the producer. Six is the producer of the Pigtail Street. I hate to inject this now, so I'm asking her what day. Because I think we were talking about this coming weekend, which I think Saturday was the day. But we'll find out. Saturday. There we go. All right. So I just wanted to make sure. So the Pigtail stream is coming. I'm paying off on my 15K. Wow, that was bad. 15K subscriber goal. And I will be wearing pigtails during that live stream celebration.
On Easter Eve.
On Saturday. Easter Eve. And then...
now she's saying 2 weeks from yesterday.
What now?
In chat, she's saying no, 2 weeks from yesterday.
2 weeks from yesterday.
So 2 Fridays.
Okay, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Okay, there you go.
2 Saturdays.
Right,
well, no, next Saturday. Saturday after that.
Yeah.
I quit.
Saturday after
no,
Easter.
it's okay. I'll pull up my calendar and look at the date to give.
It will be happening. Six will be producing it and making sure I'm looking plenty the fool.
First
The
Saturday
6th,
in
April the 6th. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. She was right. Anyway, I'm very bad at this, so that's why I need a producer. Speaking of great people that aren't bad, CC Karaoke, what you got going on, my friend?
Got Friday night karaoke, but like culture, I like to wake up early. So Tom and I were talking about maybe starting that show a little bit earlier than we have been.
Ooh.
But you can always find Tom and myself, and Price of Reason always shows up, among others. And
sometimes I show up.
Culture, if you're awake, you're always invited. I always invite 6 once in a while. Once every couple of years, 6 will show up.
Oftentimes I'm asleep. And finally, my good friend Jacob, Society Reviews, the guy that watches more movies than you. How many have you seen this year, Jacob?
24 in the first quarter of 2024, and I gotta be honest, they haven't been too great. They haven't been too great so far. I think the best movie I've seen so far this year is no, I would say Ordinary Angels, then The Beekeeper is my number 2, but that's not a great list.
Beekeeper's a good pick, though. I was shocked at how good that thing was.
And on that note, 2 weeks from Saturday, so 2 weeks from yesterday, we will have the pigtail stream, and I will be quite foolish. It'll be probably the only time you ever see me with my hair pulled up in any kind of a tail. And there you go. On that note, we are going to drop out. We're going to run the outro. Be prepared with your OAOs. And be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. And until next time, see ya.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back.
Dead again.